The Common Sense of Warfare by H.G. Wells, narrated by Peter Silverleaf. Section 1. Conscription. I want to say, as compactly as possible, why I do not believe that conscription would increase the military efficiency of this country, and why I think it might be a disastrous step for this country to take. By conscription, I mean the compulsory enlistment for a term of service in the army of the whole manhood of the country. And I am writing now from the point of view merely of military effectiveness. The educational value of a universal national service, the idea which as a socialist I support very heartily, of making every citizen give a year or so of his life to our public needs, are matters quite outside my present discussion. What I am writing about now is this idea that the country can be strengthened for war by making every man in it a bit of a soldier. And I want the reader to be perfectly clear about the position I assume with regard to war preparations generally. I am not pleading for peace when there is no peace. This country has been constantly threatened during the past decade, and is threatened now by gigantic hostile preparations. It is our common interest to be and to keep at the maximum of military efficiency possible to us. My case is not merely that conscription will not contribute to that, but that it would be a monstrous diversion of our energy and emotion and material resources from the things that need urgently to be done. It would be like a boxer filling his arms with empty boxing gloves and then rushing, his face protruding over the armful, into the fray. Let me make my attack on this prevalent and increasing superstition of the British need for conscription in two lines, one following the other. For firstly, it is true that Britain at the present time is no more capable of creating such a conscript army as France or Germany possesses in the next 10 years than she is of covering her soil with a tropical forest, and secondly, it is equally true that if she had such an army it would not be of the slightest use to her. For the conscript armies in which Europe still so largely believes are only of use against conscript armies, and adversaries who will consent to play the rules of the German war game. They are, if we choose to determine they shall be, if we choose to deal with them as they should be dealt with, as out of date as a Roman legion or a Zulu impi. Now, first...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?